The Amazon rainforest is the largest rainforest on Earth. It produces 20% of the world's fresh water and is home to more than 40 million people. Of those 40 million people, there are 1.6 million indigenous people that reside within the forest, using its resources and also serving as its protector. It is one of the world's most biodiverse places. It houses many unique animal species we can't find anywhere else, not only on land. Its river also have fish and marine life, which is what makes the Amazon River so rich with life, such as pink dolphins that only live in Amazon's freshwater. All land and sea life live in harmony with each other, creating the beautiful rainforest we are familiar with today.
Millions of trees in the rainforest are responsible for taking in billions of tons of carbon dioxide. It is one of the key natural resources we have to absorb man-made greenhouses and make oxygen out of it. This uptake of CO2 prevents global warming. Global warming can lead to devastating changes like heat waves, droughts, and irregular weather patterns that can affect everyone around the world. But with deforestation and forest exploitation, the Amazon rainforest is not the only one at risk of collapsing. People around the globe will feel its impact in their daily life due to climate change caused by global warming.
Joe is a cattle farmer in Brazil. He and hundreds of thousands of others make a living through cattle ranching for beef exports. Brazil is the world's largest exporters of beef, and unfortunately, cattle ranching is also the biggest driver of deforestation in the Amazon. Joe, like many other ranchers, make room for the cows by burning down trees in the forest, especially during the forest dry season. Millions of acres are cleared due to this reason. Even more unfortunate, the cleared land does not regrow. It is left abandoned and lifeless after all nutrients from the cleared land has been used up.
Burning trees and not letting it regrow is destructive to the rainforest functions. Trees release a lot of stored CO2 when it dies, and without any new trees growing and absorbing the CO2, it just adds more CO2 in the atmosphere. Its ability to keep the earth cool is slowly being degraded, and with CO2 released from burning trees, it just accelerates the degradation of the rainforest. With increase of CO2 in the atmosphere, it promotes warming of the atmosphere, and on a bigger scale, global warming. Droughts will be longer, and heat waves will be more intense due to the drier, hotter air. Agriculture will be affected, and our food supply will be at risk. It's catastrophic for not only life in the Amazon, but people living around the world.
One way to decrease forest clearing is to start implementing sustainable ranching. This means not clearing rainforests and using the millions of lands already abandoned. Money will be needed to invest into ranchers like Joe and encourage him to revive acres of land. There will be programs that need to be created to teach ranchers how to use sustainable ranching and methods of reviving the abandoned land. This way, Joe's way of making a living doesn't need to be compromised in the process of rainforest conservation. Money needed to subsidize ranchers could come from taxes on beef exports to other countries.
Another solution is to offer ranchers a change in profession and shift into horticulture like fruits and vegetables. Farming fruits and vegetables will yield ranchers like Joe 12 times more earnings than if they stayed in cattle ranching business. If Joe no longer wants to ranch cattle, the government can provide him machinery needed to start his horticulture profession. Like reusing land abandoned for cattle ranching, farming crops would also utilize those same abandoned land. Regardless of the different solution available, the main focus is to stop or slow down deforestation before Amazon reaches a point where it no longer absorbs CO2 and becomes a producer of CO2 due to the lack of trees.